everybody. Thank you guys for hanging out and just waiting here on this beautiful Thursday night. I am the Loud T-Rex. You're joined by Amano. Amano, how was your break? Even though we were just talking for the 5 minutes.
It was really well. Wish I could have actually grabbed a drink, but we were having a really good discussion and really excited to get these next matches underway. See if Project Proteus took this time to recognize what their faults were and just really looking, hoping they can turn this around. And then Titans, just keep doing what you're doing. You're doing really well tonight. So I'm just excited to see.
Yeah, I'm really hoping the Project Proteus, being by, would you say it's an alma mater? Whatever. It's my old team. I'm really hoping that they're taking the time to really kind of discuss it and talk about it. You know what I mean? And I always feel like one of the biggest problems when you're kind of coming into this environment is that you really have to stay out of your own head. Because the moment you start tilting or the moment you start arguing with yourself, if not just yourself, with your teammates, you're not getting anything done. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's really this. If you have beef with someone, if even your team or yourself, leave it till after the match. It's right now. You're there to play. You're there to try and win. You're there to work with your team. No reason to call it arguments. And it just try to think about what the enemy team is doing and what they might do, and try to how you can work around what they're going to do and use that against them, rather than I'm going to do this and hopefully they don't do this. Gotta say, I'm gonna make them do this so I can do this.
Alrighty. So once Elaine gets the thumbs up from both the team captains, we're going to be going to Blizzard World. So Blizzard World is a hybrid map with clear and solid lines for attack and defense. Based on what you've seen here today, though, what do you think these teams are going to be running?
I feel Titans, especially on the defense, is going to be running more of that bunker comp for Blizzard Wolf at the first point. Project Proteus probably going to either run that dive here, because dive works really well, or the 222 Ryan Zarya. That's what I can really see coming out on the attacking side. But Blizzard Wolf, still a lot of Ryan Zarya, but dive is where it's a lot more. And then we do have some cheeky Symmetra plays I haven't seen here in a while, but are still viable here on this map.
Alrighty, so here we are, and the team. Well, let's see. I think the team captains are giving the okay. So I think a bunch of nonsense here at this point, and let's see how this all turns out. Oh man, I'm telling you, it's been a crazy set of matches. I really do hope that Project Proteus does come back from this one. I do hope they're really considering their win conditions on how they can go ahead and make this work, because it's still possible. That last map that we saw a little bit of their ability to do so. Wolfpack really popping off. Nethal, however you say his name. It was able to really get in there, pop off, do some solid work, so long as he stayed within the boundaries of his play. Once it becomes really difficult, because now Sniv has to try to catch up to him, and there's just not a lot that he can do.
No, it's just getting in the Ryan's head. That Ryan battle is the really important thing, and just knowing not to overextend, make the space so your DPS can do it, and don't be afraid to fall back sometimes too. Like if you're don't be afraid. If you can get out of there, so you can get healed by your team, and don't continue the push when you don't need to, and then you force those hard staggers.
You're right. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Wait, hold on. Wait, no. What do you mean? You mean I can't just play the game by pressing W straight into the point? What's wrong?
I thought you were actually about to prove me wrong for a second, Latrix.
Gotcha. No, definitely. Sometimes a better route of combat is just knowing when the fight is lost. For example, if you're still very close to your spawn point and you lose a guy, give it a few seconds. You'll probably be surprised with what you'll get done. So here we go. Project Proteus coming on out, as it looks like it's going to be the Titans just starting off with initial barrage right down the main entrance here of Blizzard World, but they've got to be careful because Helix Snake could be in a bad spot. So it's going to be Wolfpack playing on his signature Genji, and he may be able to do some solid work yet here, but they've got to be careful because Hot Pocket really is playing on that Warbeard.
Wolfpack is jumping that on Zuki and the Widow, which is really good. That's what Genji does best as well. But now the rotation really well is able to get behind that bunker comp. They can do an excellent work here, but these anti-nades still are. Neithel just going off. Neithel just going off, trying to chase the carrot, and when he needs to be with his team, and then he just getting pincered.
Yeah, that was just a little bit unfortunate as House of Homie does win the 1v1 against Helix Snake, and that's going to be absolutely detrimental for the entirety of his team. Surprise does get the ultimate, and Sniv just gets completely one-comboed, gets taken out, and Danks gets taken out yet again. It seems like it's going to have to be Neithel backing off, and he can't really finish that one off. It started off strong here for the side of Project Proteus, but they weren't able to hold that on.
It was definitely, Neithel shouldn't have gone around behind a rotate. One thing Ryan's are really good with is playing with the team, and as soon as you veer off on your own, you don't get that support from your healers, and you're not providing that shield for your team, not allowing your team to do as much damage, and definitely not a smart move there. But now they're going on the right side, the battle get underway.
Oh, and here it comes. Neithel does get hooked, but it's going to be just an angry Neithel looking to try to finish this bad boy off, and it looks like Surprise trying to switch over for that amplification matrix, trying to make it work, and they're just swinging away, and the hammer down comes out, but totally whiffed here, and huge anti-nade comes out, but Danks looking to try to keep the dream alive with nothing more than a string and a piece of paper, and it doesn't seem like that's going to be it, as Project Proteus managed to make it with quite a bit of time in their time bank.
That beat there was definitely a savior of that push. Once you got that anti-nade and the block to shatter, that almost looked like a lost fight, but that Danks coming out with that beat clutched that there, and they're just taking as much opportunity as they can with another huge anti-nade from Casual. Really held that fight together and allowed them to capture the point there.
Oh, and the hammer down does come in, and unfortunately Isaiah does manage to get Danks. It seems that Sniv and Neithel were just a little bit too excited to make their way forward, as they're going to go ahead and go for a hard reset here with 3 minutes and 30 seconds remaining.
So what's really going to determine Project Proteus' win condition here is basically they're going to have to deal with Isaiah, who's playing a really strong front line, and then you got House of Homie on the brick now as well, which is providing a lot of
oh, and here comes Wolfpack looking to finish his bad boy off. Does have that ultimate available, but I don't know what just happened there, because it was a good ultimate there, but it's not going to be it. Isaiah looking for a pick, and Sniv just in a bad spot, and no, that's just gonna be a heavy finish. Isaiah going at it once again, and it seems that Neithel is just a little bit more interested in getting the hammer down, but it seems that every time he does manage to get it, Isaiah is still right behind him looking to get his own.
Yeah, and it's just, I don't know what happened there after that grab. It was really weird, but Isaiah and Surprise get up on the high ground somehow. After the grab being at the bottom left, like, I have no idea what happened there.
I think that might have been Danks. I think that might have been Danks' fault. And Neithel's still just trying to swing away with the anti-nade. He's got to learn to back off here a little bit more, man. He can't be staying in there, even with the defensive buff that the Ana boost does give you. If you don't have any healing there to keep, there's just nothing you can do, and Hanzuki is just causing all sorts of problems here for the side of Project Proteus. Here they come at it one more time, swinging away, looking to keep this battle going, and great anti-nade is done here by Casual OPSEC, but a completely ridiculous counter does come out from Quaking Punch Sniv in the front line by himself, and Danks looking to try to keep it alive just a little bit longer, but there's just so much stuns coming in favor of Titans. They are just completely destroying them, and Project Proteus is going to have to back off and try it again.
One thing I'm noticing that Titans is doing really well is they're playing that corner. Isaiah's really playing that close corner, even with Project Proteus having that spawn advantage, but they know when to back off, get some space, and then just able to push back in when Project Proteus thinks, oh, we're making the space, we're doing good, we're getting picked, and then the pincer cats come from all sides of when they get around that corner, and it's just not much they can do, and these anti-nades are just demolishing their team.
So here it comes, the barrier is destroyed, and if Neithel ever had one to do, would have been now, but no, just very bad timing, and there is no offensive here for the entirety of the team. The hammer down does come out though, and here comes Hot Pockets looking to finish it off, and unbelievably, they managed to get the team kill. What is happening tonight?
Neithel, like you're saying, he's wanting to get those hammers down off, but that really, he should have saved it there, because now he has no ult. Isaiah's going to be closer to getting his hammer down. But he hammered down when he had no team to help him follow up on it.
And that's going to be a tough one. Here they come in. They're trying to be a little bit more aggressive. It looks like it's going to be Wolfpack looking to try to finish them off, and here they come. This might be everything that they needed, and sure enough, it is, as Wolfpack finally popping off. That 1-2 combo should have worked the first time, but they managed to get it to work. 60 seconds remain. 10 seconds remaining, and they gotta make sure they get somebody onto the point. They do look to try to get that zoning ult to try to back them off, and House of Homie pushing his way in. Oh no, Wolfpack in a bad spot, and they've got to be careful when doing that. And that's going to be it. Oh no, just before they get to this next little bit, Dank's looking to try to keep it going for just a little bit longer, and the hammer down comes out because there is no one to protect them, and Hanzuki making sure that there is absolutely no one alive, as it seems that Pro is unable to finish this map. They did manage to make it almost to that point B. So they do have a solid possibility, but their defense has got to be impeccable.
Yes, and it's just, they really need to work. Neithel needs to get, I don't know what he's off tonight, but he really just needs to play a little more cautiously and not just rush in there, because as soon as they lose Neithel, they have no shield, and Sniv's trying to shield him himself and one other person, and Titans are just capitalizing on that. So it's Neithel needs to start trying to work around Isaiah and know when he needs to back out, and when it's acceptable, I guess, to use that shatter when he has a team behind his back to follow up upon it.
Right. I mean, I also think, though, it's like I'm starting to, like, as we're watching this battle kind of move on a little bit more and more, I'm also starting to see a little bit more of the failings. Sniv, not necessarily, like, might be pushing up just a little bit too much, or his shields are lacking a little bit. Like, for example, when Wolfpack was getting pulled, that would have been a great time to go ahead and bubble him. Because the unfortunate part is, even if there's a Rein there to stop it, it counts as a wall. So Wolfpack is literally getting crushed between 2 tons of just straight angry German. So there's nothing he could do at that point. And then, so that becomes an issue. But, it's a little bit of this ult management kind of thing that they got going on. And it's going to be a little bit of a review that they're going to have to do here. So moving on into this next fight, Titans have so little to go yet so far to try to make this 3-0 victory. And they're doing very, very well. So initial battle does come on out, and Hanzuki is going to be playing on the Tracer. Wolfpack will be playing the Genji. So this initial battle will begin. The Fire Strike could be coming out, but Sniv might be just a little bit out of position yet again. And here comes this initial battle, and Isaiah just has so much backup. And right there, that's exactly where they're having that main issue. Sniv is just popping that just too little too early. Completely out of position, manages to lose it. There goes yet another one. Helix Snake is the only one remaining, and then that's going to be it.
Dude, one time those shields would be really good for him to use. Like you're saying, he's popping them too early. It's when those anti-nades comes out, he can bubble the Rein. He gets its own charge, and it keeps the Rein alive a little longer. And I feel like that could maybe turn it around a bit. But it's knowing when, like, surprise, this is working really well on the Zarya getting those charged and when he can, and it's just really the tanks outplaying the other tanks at this point.
Yeah, and that's the thing, though. I always feel like a common rule of thumb is that people keep forgetting. It's you don't just want a high charge Zarya, you also want to use that for a life-saving measure. It needs to be to save someone's life and bring that back against the enemy. So here we go with another battle, and Neithel knows he is in trouble right now, trying to keep his shield up, and Isaiah knows he's got the freedom to do whatever he needs to, and that ultimate is getting popped out extremely early. Isaiah does pop that ultimate. Good sleep there, though, by Casual ObSec. Hanzuki, though, still looking to finish this bad boy off, and it's not looking good here for Project Proteus.
Hanzuki doing excellent work on that backline, getting those supports just down, preventing the healing, and this casual or not quaking punch, getting those anti-nades. Just they're really lethal.
Oh, and he's
not
going.
much he can do too. It's.
Oh, he's just rushing out there on his own. That's not going to be good. And they're going for a final swing of life. They popped that just too little, too early. The hammer down does come out just in time, and it's going to be Helix Steak trying to keep people alive, but Hot Pockets just completely on fire, literally and figuratively, as they manage to go ahead and clutch this one out. And the Genji Blade is not going to be enough. Wolfpack just does not have enough, and the Pro loses it tonight, as Titans manage to get the lead here and secure the second place spot here in the gold division.
What happened with Sniv there at the very end? He just died, like in the middle of the fight. I'm still like, it didn't even say he was killed by anyone. It said Sniv like just died.
I'm not sure. And right there, hammer down on the opposite. Oh, unbelievable work, Isaiah. Just completely nasty. Oh my God. Woo. But Quake